Morning everyone, thank you all for joining. First of all, well done for getting from your bed to your living room or wherever it is that you're practicing. It's a bit of a crazy times for us all. So first thing in the morning, you're gonna feel quite stiff, quite a little bit, let me just turn that off. Maybe a little bit lethargic, especially because you've not had such a long distance to get up and moving. Usually if you was going to a studio, you know, your bones will feel a little bit more loose, your joints will feel a little bit more open. So just take it nice and easy. You don't really need any props, but if you do have straps or maybe cushions, they may be helpful. But I try and teach in a way where you use the body as a prop instead. So thank you all so much for joining. As always, please don't force yourself into any pain. It's just a nice little fluid flow to get the blood pumping, getting the day ready. So I'm Chrissy, for those of you that don't know me. It's nice to be virtually connected. We'll begin in a child's pose, taking the big toes together and the knees apart, nice and wide, and just draping your heart down onto the mat, maybe extending the arms alongside or out in front of the body. And just begin to bring your awareness into the breath. Into the inhalations and the exhalations. Listening to and understanding the rise and the fall of the chest. Finding space with each in-breath and length with each out-breath. Noticing how it is that you're feeling physically. As you scan from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet. And just begin to connect to santosha, contentment. Not judging where you're at, just completely accepting. Right here and right now. All observation, no judgment. Notice how you're feeling spiritually or energetically. Whatever you decide that those words mean for you. And start to connect with your emotions. How is it that you're feeling emotionally today? And maybe it's this space and this time that you wish to devote some energy or connect to an intention for the next 60 minutes. Maybe devoting your practice to somebody or to something that you love. Maybe that person is yourself. Because in order to love other people, you must first truly learn to love yourself. The word yoga translates to the word to unite or to yoke. So let's all unite with breath. Inhale through the belly, the rib cage, the collarbones lift. Inhale, inhale, inhale as much air as you can into the lungs, holding at the top. Exhale, big sigh through the mouth as you release it and let it go. 2 more like this. Inhale through the belly, the chest, the collarbones expand. Inhale, inhale, inhale. as much as you can. Hold at the top. Exhale wide through the mouth, sigh out, let it go. One more big in breath. Big out breath. Begin to connect to Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Filling the room with the beautiful sound of the ocean. So imagine that you're fogging up a mirror, but with the mouth closed. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands all the way over to the right so that you're stretching out through the left side of the body, and walk as far over as possible. Maybe you wish to take that left hand on top of the right for a deeper stretch. Stretching from the left hip all the way up to the fingertips, relaxing the shoulders and the head between the space in between the arms. Staying in your side bend, begin to peel your left hand up to the sky, and then we're taking that left hand next to the left hip as we sweep the right hand up and over for a deeper side bend but seated. With each inhalation, you're lengthening the chest, and with each exhalation, you're twisting your gaze and your torso up towards the sky. Using the inhalations, using the exhalations. Inhale, peels yourself back through to center. This time we're interlacing the fingers behind the back. Avoid hyperextending through the elbows. Open through the heart space, and then exhale, draw yourself down onto the mat. Just reaching the hands up and overhead. Seeing if you can connect the palms of the hands together so that you're piercing the shoulder blades together. Each inhalation you're lengthening, and each exhalation you're reaching the hands up and overhead. Slowly release the clasp, extending the hands back out in front of you so you're arriving back into your extended child's pose. And then again, we're walking all the way over towards the right this time. And again, if you wish to take it deeper, take that the right hand on top of the left. We're walking over to the left, not the right, my bad. Just observe how one side of the body may feel completely different in comparison to the opposite side. And again, accept it without any judgment. Staying in your side bend, keeping your left hand glued down, raise your right hand to the sky, sweeping that right hand over towards the right side of the mat as you reach the left hand up and over. So try and avoid sinking and collapsing into the chest. You want the inhalations to lengthen through the whole front of the body, taking the gaze up towards the top hand if it's okay on the neck. With each inhale you grow. With each exhale you're twisting like a ballerina. Inhale, peels yourself all the way back up through to center. This time place both hands on top of the knees. The chest and the spine is elongated. We're going to take some gentle cat and cows but seated in our kneeling position. As you inhale, draw the heart through the gates of the arms, peeling and drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale as you round yourself into a tiny little ball, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhale as you arch, 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 look up. Exhale, peeling yourself into a tiny little ball. Two more. Inhale, taking the heart through the gates of the arms. Exhale, rounding it all the way in. And if something different feels nice, then please feel free to take that variation. It's your practice, not mine. Coming back through to stillness, just gently begin to circle the head in one direction. Circling it all the way around if that feels good. Dropping the right ear down to the right shoulder. Circling the chin down in towards the chest as you make your way over to the left shoulder. Maybe being at home has left you stuck on screens quite a lot, or maybe stuck in your bed far longer than you usually would, begin to reverse the circles when you're ready. So the head, the neck, the shoulders, they can get really cramped up, especially the muscle in the back of the neck, the trapezius. It can get very tired and very weak when we spend a lot of time on screens. It's really important to pay attention to it and try and strengthen it. Arriving back through to center. Taking your right hand, placing it on top of the left ear, and gently guide the head down towards the right shoulder. So avoid tugging the head down. It's just a nice, gentle encouragement. We often forget about the tiny little muscles deep within the body. Drawing the head back through so it's stacked on top of the shoulders, and then take it to the opposite side. Left hand on top of the right ear and gently guide the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Practicing gratitude and mindfulness for tuning into the smaller and minute parts of the body. Tuning into the breathing and your meditation. Inhale through to center. This time we're going to walk our way forwards into a tabletop position. So stacking your shoulders on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. Let's take some mini cat and cows. So as you inhale, lift the chest, lift the collarbones, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, rounding the upper back, drawing the chin down into the chest. Inhale as you arch, 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 look up. Exhale as you round, 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 chin to chest. 3 to 5 more like this in your own breath, in your own movement. You can take circles into the wrists, come forwards into up dog. Do whatever it is that is serving you, whatever it is that the body is telling you that it really needs. You know, it's never a competition. Always remembering and making whatever practice that you attend, whatever class that you attend, tune into and allow it to become your practice, nobody else's. Last round. As you arrive back through to center. As you inhale, raising your right hand high to the sky. Thread that right arm underneath the left shoulder as you drop down to the right ear. A few variations. Options 1, you can stay here. Options 2, take that left hand behind you, hook it onto the right thigh. Options 3, extend your left leg back and up. If you want to challenge yourself and you want to come into a deeper balance, you can begin to draw that right heel in towards the right glute, so you're balancing on the right knee. It's quite a balance, especially first thing in the morning, so really focus your drishti, your focal point, stretching out through the shoulders. 4, 3, 4, 2, don't worry if you fall out of it, and 1. Releasing the left hand back, keeping the left leg lifted. Raise your right hand up and out in front of you so that you're being pulled in 2 opposite directions. Exhale, draw yourself into a tiny little ball. Knee comes to the nose. You can keep the right hand down if you wish. Inhale, you're reaching forwards, toes are flexed. Exhale, using the breath to round yourself in. Last one. Inhale, you're reaching forwards. Exhale, round yourself in into your tiny little ball. As you inhale, reach it forwards. This time, take your right hand on top of the mat, so you're placing it back down. And then we're going to take your left knee all the way across to your right elbow, so you're lifting it nice and high. Inhale to re-extend that leg back. Exhale, you're taking the knee across to the right elbow. 2 more. Inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, you're twisting. So you should feel it in the glute and the quad. Inhale, last one. And exhale, you're twisting it across. Inhale, re-extend the left leg back. Drop the knee down onto the mat as we change sides. Raising that left hand high towards the sky. Threading the left arm underneath the right shoulder as you come into your variation on the right side. And just make sure that you're taking the same variation on the opposite side. So we're always trying to balance out our energy channels. Ida, Pingala, our masculine, our feminine sides of the body, Shiva and Shakti. And from there you can begin to discover which side is maybe stronger within your own sense of self. 2 more breaths. And 1. Releasing the right hand down onto the mat. Keep the right leg lifted. Begin to swing yourself into a tabletop position, reaching the left hand forwards. As you exhale, you're rounding it all the way into a tiny little ball, drawing the knee and the nose together. Again, you can keep the left hand down. Inhale, you reach forwards. Exhale, you're rounding it all the way in, like you're moving through a pot of honey. 1 more. Inhale, you reach. Exhale, you round. Inhale, reach forwards. Place your left hand back down onto the mat. And then begin to take your right knee across to the left elbow. So you're lifting it high. Inhale, you're reaching back. Exhale, you're twisting. So this is actually really good for sciatic nerve pain. Inhale. Exhale, twisting it across because it helps to strengthen the piriformis muscle, which gets compressed and tight during sciatic pain. Inhale, twisting it across. Last one. Inhale, you reach it back. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, reach it back. Drop that left knee back, the right knee, sorry, back down onto the ground. And then just drop the knees back down and the hips back down into a short child's pose. So just come back to the breath. Come back to your intention. Yoga Sitra Vitti Narodaha. The modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. The only aim is to bring the mind to a point of stillness. If you feel like at any part of the practice you need space or you need time to come back to yourself, then child's pose is always a safety pose. However, if it doesn't work for you, then take any pose that does. Maybe it's starfishing, maybe it's just standing up. Work with what you need. On your next inhale, we ripple ourselves back into tabletop position. And then we're going to take some amended Surya Namaskars. So staying on the hands and knees. As we exhale, we're bending the elbows, dropping the chin and the chest to the earth. Inhale, peel yourself down into a baby cobra. Tenting on the fingertips, begin to lift the chest up. Exhale, you roll yourself down. Maybe you want to walk the fingertips out to the sides. Inhale, you're lifting the chest, proud through the heart. Exhale, you're rolling yourself back down. Last one. Inhale, tenting on the fingertips if it feels nice, lifting your chest, engaging through the back of the body. Exhale, rippling yourself down. Planting the hands back underneath next to the rib cage. Pressing yourself back up into tabletop and extending back into child's pose. Inhale, ripple forwards back into your tabletop. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop the chin and the chest down to the earth. Inhale, ripple forwards. This time bringing the hands in line with the ears. Press down through the pubic bone and lift everything off the ground for Shalabhasana. 4, 5. Squeeze the inner thighs. 4, 4. 4, 3. for 2, and 1. Exhale, release yourself down. Hands either side of the rib cage, lifting yourself up into baby cobra or full upward facing dog if you're feeling it. And then exhale, ride your breath into your first downward facing dog. And for this first downward facing dog, feel free to move in any way that you wish. Maybe bending one knee, maybe bending another. Wiggling the hips from side to side, giving the head a nod, giving the head a shake. Just really start to tune into the finer movements, the final subtle energies of the body. On your next in-breath, begin to walk your fingertips all the way to the back of the mat. Take a huge bend into the knees as you do this, so that when you arrive into your Mooladhara, your squat pose. So toes out and heels in. Bringing the hands in towards the heart center in Namaste, and using the elbows to guide those thighs open. The chest is nice and proud. And just observe how the hips are feeling. Observe the quality of the mind, the chitta. Meditation is about being acceptant to everything on the inside as well as everything on the outside. Acceptance. From Mooladhara, draw yourself super, super small, so into a tiny ball, and then one vertebrae at a time, begin to ripple yourself all the way up to stand. So a ragdoll, the crown of the head will arrive at last. Ooh. Staying at the back of the mat, draw your big toes together and your heels slightly apart. For those of you that are new to yoga, I speak quite a lot in Sanskrit, so if you're not understanding what I say, then just listen before and after, because it will all be in English. And yeah, I like the traditions. So big toes together, heels slightly apart. Lift all 10 toes off the ground, spread them, and then very mindfully planting them down one by one as you articulate through your inner arches and activate through root lock Pada Bandha. Lift up your kneecaps, which turns on the quadriceps, tilting the pelvis under, lifting up through pelvic floor or perineum for Mula Bandha. Dropping your navel up and back behind the rib cage, hollowing out through the belly, activating through abdominal lock, Uddiyana Bandha. Crown of the head reaches high to the sky as you lightly tilt the chin down in towards the chest, Jalandhara Bandha, throat lock. Shoulders draw up towards the ears as you roll them back and behind the rib cage, spreading the hands evenly alongside the body, Hasta Bandha. All 5 bandhas are now activated. Endeavour to keep these engaged throughout the entirety of the next 60 minutes. Let's find some mindfulness. Let's find the breath. Let's all breathe. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 4, 5, 6. One more. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 4, 5, 6. Refined Ujjayi. Hatha Yoga, Hanumusasana. The teachings of yoga begins. As you inhale, take the arms up and overhead. The hands open out to the sides as you sound iti. And all this means, it means I'm here and I'm present and with the universe. Let's salute the sun. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, Hasta Drishti. Exhale, melt down, bend the knees as much as you need for Uttanasana, Nasagra Drishti. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades back as you look up and lengthen halfway. Exhale, walk your hands forwards into your high plank, and we'll lower the knees, the chest and the chin down towards the earth. Inhale, peeling yourself forward, staying nice and low. Exhale, riding your breath back and up into Ardha Mukha, downward facing dog. Feet are hips distance apart, hands are shoulder width. Spreading down through each knuckle of the fingertip so it's glued into the mat. With each inhalation, you're lengthening. With each exhalation, you're guiding the heels down in towards the earth, lifting the sit bones high to the sky. Creating space between the shoulders, between the ears, and taking the gaze towards the feet or up towards the knees, Paradrishti. Bend your knees, look forward, step the right leg forward, step the left leg forward and offer the heart halfway. Exhale, melt down. Instead of lifting yourself up, begin to roll yourself all the way back up, one vertebrae at a time. Crown of the head raises. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, cactus the elbows out to the sides. Inhale, you're raising the hands. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Last one, inhale, you lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lifting the hands to the sky. Exhale, melting yourself forwards into your hamstring stretch, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, planting your hands, step back to a high plank, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga if you're feeling ready. Inhale, the thighs and knees can come off the mat if you like for upward dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Is your breath switched on? Are your bandhas engaged? We practice sun salutations to salute the life force, the sun, and to warm up the body. With each inhalation is an opportunity of growth. And with each exhalation, it's an opportunity to get rid of anything in the body that doesn't serve us. Bend your knees, look forward, step, jump or hop to the top of the mat and lengthen halfway lift. Exhale, melt down. Again, begin to ripple yourself all the way up to stand. The head is heavy as it arrives up last. Taking the hands up and overhead. Exhale, last one, swan dive forwards as you melt into the ground. Inhale, the gaze comes towards the third eye, Brahmya for halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back into your high plank as you lower yourself down. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Ardha Mukha, downward facing dog. Breathe. The more you start to build up this internal heat, the more you start to activate and create a sense of sausha, your fiery cleansing, your purification. It never matters how far you get into a posture, it just matters that each experience will teach you something new. On your next in-breath, let's raise your right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Begin to bend the knee and open out through the hips. So see if you can kick that right heel in towards the left glute. Just opening out through the hip joint. And then maybe you want to take some circles with the knee and the leg. Lubricating through the hip, through the knee. Nice and strong through the hands as they push the floor away. And then begin to reverse the circles if you did take them. Just analysing how movements can affect so many different aspects of the practice. Making sure that your breath is linked with the movement. Inhale to re-extend the leg to the sky. Exhale, lightly step the foot in between the hands as you drop the left knee down onto the ground, keeping the toes tucked under. Sweeping the hands up towards the sky, and then sinking nice and deeply into the hips, ensuring that your knee isn't overshooting the ankle. So you want them to be relatively stacked. With each inhalation, the front of the body is energetically growing. And with each exhalation, the back of the body is energetically lengthening. The left hip is pulling forwards whilst the right hip is drawing back. Nice and strong. Lifting up through pelvic floor, perineum. Scooping your navel up and back. As you exhale, place both hands down into the earth. Keeping that left hand glued down onto the mat, begin to extend the right hand to the sky. So just before you go any further, just ask yourself and take a quick scan of where the twist is coming from. So if the twist is stuck in one part of the body, you want to elongate it so it's being spread from the hips, into the ribs, into the chest, and then through and into the shoulders as you spread that hand nice and evenly up towards the ceiling, so that it's open to receive all of this energy. Exhale, swing the right hand towards the back of the room, brushing the fingertips across the mat as you reach them forwards. Inhale, you're swinging the hand back, brushing the fingertips as you reach them forwards. 2 more. Big inhale. Reaching the hands forwards on the exhalation. Last one. Inhale, you're reaching the hand back, brushing the fingertips as you draw the hands forwards. Exhale, place both hands back down onto the mat so they're framing the front foot. As you inhale, sink the hips low, broaden through the collarbones. As you exhale, straighten through the front of the foot. Make sure you're coming onto the heel as you forward fold. 2 more. Inhale as you bend. Bend, bend, coming onto the fingertips. Exhale, extend, extend, extend. Last one, inhale, rebending. Hatha Chakra is proud. Exhale as we forward fold, and we're going to hold it here for 5 breaths. So instead of thinking knee to nose, you want to think belly towards the thigh, taking the gaze towards the toes. Each inhale you grow, each exhale you fold. Ardha Hanumu. Breathe in deeply. Inhale, lifting the head and the chest. And from here, we're going to walk the hands all the way back towards the back of the room as you lower your hips all the way down into a seated forward fold. So first thing before we continue is knee. If you have any issues with the knee, then take Janushirasana instead. So you're taking the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Otherwise, you're sticking with this variation with the leg bent. Keeping the right toes flexed to the sky. As we inhale, we take the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge forwards as you forward fold. You can hold onto the shin or you can bend the knees if you've got tight hamstrings. Inhale to draw the shoulders back. And exhale, melting yourself down. And as I said, it never matters how far you get, as long as you feel a stretch and as long as it's teaching you something new. Really taking the heart out of yoga. It's transformed so much over the years, over the decades, that we forget the true aspect of it. Come back to the present moment. Come back to the breath. Inhale, lifting the head and the chest. As you exhale, begin to take the left hand behind you and lift those hips nice and high. So you're coming into your variation of your wild thing. Sorry, it's not the right hand, it's the left hand behind you. Lift the hips nice and high, coming into your variation of a wild thing. Exhale, lowers your hips down. 2 more. Inhale, you're opening into your back bend. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale to lift, be mindful of knees. And exhale, lowers yourself back into your forward fold variation. Planting both hands back down onto the mat. If you've taken Janu, just very briefly bend the knee as we walk ourselves forwards back into our low lunge. This time, begin to take your front foot parallel to the top of the mat as you extend the left leg along the earth and sink nice and deep into your Skandasana. So, you want the left leg to be elongated, toes are flexed to the sky, bringing the thumbs in towards the sternum so that the chest is lifted. If you're finding it hard to balance, then you can place your fingertips onto the floor. Again, the crown of the head is lengthening. Breathing deeply. Practice and all is common, but you have to practice with all earnestness, with true devotion and without break. From here, very slowly lower your hips down onto the ground so that you're coming into a seated position. We're drawing the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh, and then the right hand comes to the right foot as you extend that left hand over and towards the right foot. So make sure it's a side bend, not a forward fold, okay? So you want the chest to be twisted all the way up to the sky. Inhale, lifting yourself back up. This time we're planting the hands down into the mat at the top, planting the right foot in between the hands as you raise that left leg high to the sky. So make sure, obviously, if your knee is bent, then make sure that the palms of the hands are flat onto the ground. If you're feeling quite adventurous, you can have a go at planting maybe 1 or 2 hands around the standing leg. Otherwise, use the in-breath to lengthen and the out-breath to forward fold. Breathe. Keeping the left toes flexed. As you drop the left hip down, the hips become square. From here, begin to tap the left knee across to the right ankle. So you're making yourself into a little ball. Inhale, you're raising. Exhale, you're tapping. 3 more. Inhale to lift. A little bit of strength. Exhale, you round. Bend those knees as much as you can. Inhale to lift. Exhale, re-round yourself. Last one. Inhale to lift. Exhale, round. Good job, guys. Inhale to re-extend. This time, step that foot all the way back, planting the foot back parallel to the back of the mat as you cartwheel yourself up into your warrior 2. So front heel is in line with the back inner arch and the back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Hands are either side are reaching out, but make sure that the back hand isn't on holiday. As much as we all probably want to be on holiday right now, try and lift it, okay? Spread those fingertips, sink nice and deep into the right knee. As you inhale, straighten the front leg and bring the palms to touch overhead. Exhale as you bend. Follow the hands with the eyes. Inhale, you straighten. Exhale, bend. Last one. Inhale, you straighten. And exhale, rebend. Inhale, windmill your hands down to the mat as you vinyasa. Slow and controlled. Inhale to broaden through the chest. And exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. If you feel like you need a rest, then this is a good time and a good opportunity. Otherwise, just ask yourself what it was that brought you to the mat today. Asking yourself what it is that brings you to the mat day in, day out, week in, week out. Are your bandhas activated? Breath and bandhas, breath and bandhas. Arriving back into downward facing dog if you haven't already. We're going to take some ripples through the spine, so avoid it being a robotic movement. We want it to be one continuous flow. As you inhale, ripple forwards, rounding through the upper back into your high plank. Exhale, bend the knees and extend the hips to the sky. Inhale, you're rippling forwards, use the breath. Exhale, bend your knees, sending the hips high, downward dog. Last one, inhale, you're rippling, nice and strong. Exhale, bend and extend. Let's take it over to the left side. Raising your left leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Begin to bend the knee, open out through the hips. See if you can kick the right glute with the left heel. Maybe again, you can circle the knee in one direction, in the opposite direction. We associate the left part of the body in response to our masculine energy. And you know, it's a full moon very soon. So whenever it's a full moon, it's a time for us to really manifest our emotions. Accumulate everything that we're feeling, everything that is stopping us from achieving what we wish. And notice steps to take it into the right direction. Raising that left leg high to the sky. Lightly step the foot in between the hands. Drop the right knee down. Sink your hips nice and low as you raise the hands to the sky. Breathe. Each inhalation offers life force. And each exhalation just allows you to release absolutely anything that just doesn't serve you. It's not necessary. Get rid of it. Exhale, placing your hands down onto the mat. Keeping that right hand glued into the ground. Lifting the left hand to the sky. So the shoulders are stacked. The fingertips are spread nice and wide. Again, analysing where the breath is held and see if you can take it evenly. Exhale, swinging the left hand towards the back of the room, brushing the fingertips across the mat as you reach them forwards. Inhale, you reach that hand back, brushing the fingertips and reach them forwards. Two more, big inhale. Last one. Exhale, place the left hand down. Sink nice and deep into the hips as you roll the heart through the space in between the arms. Exhale, hinge forwards, coming onto the heel as you forward fold out of Uttanasana. Inhale, bend deeply into your Anjaneyasana, your low lunge, opening and expanding through the hips and the shoulders. Exhale, use the breath to ride you down into your forward fold. Last one, inhale, you bend, bend, bend. Exhale, extend, extend, extend. As you inhale, re-lengthen. And as you exhale, melt yourself down. It never ever matters how far you get. Practice and all is coming. But you have to practice with all earnestness, with true devotion, and without break. Yoga Sutras 1.14. Inhale, lifting the head and the chest. And again, just begin to walk your hands all the way back, dragging the leg with you as you sit down onto the ground. If you are coming to the full variation, just make sure you're not sat on the right leg. So the heel isn't underneath you. You want it to be out to the side, maybe removing any flesh. Same principle if you get pain in the knee, then take your January Shavasana. Sole the foot to the inner left thigh. You want the left toes to be flexed up towards the sky. As you inhale, draw the hands all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward. You can bend the knee or hold on to the shin. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, melt down. You know, it really doesn't matter how far you get. I'm telling you, my hamstrings are terrible. I feel like my left hamstring is just on a different body because it feels awful. You know, we can't be good at everything. But practice, practice, practice. You all have the tools within to achieve whatever it is that you wish. You just have to learn to utilize them. I know so many people that can do the craziest things, one-handed handstands and whatnot, but they can't sit in child's pose or they can't sit cross-legged. So there's always a pro and a con. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, release. Now we're taking the right hand behind the back, lifting the hips, take it into your wild thing variation. It's a bit of a balance if the shin is down onto the ground. It's the full variation. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, you lift. Chest and thighs are forwards. Exhale, lowers yourself down. Last one, inhale, lift, lift, lift. And exhale, releasing. Awesome job, guys. Nearly there. Again, if you've taken January, then very briefly just bend the knee back so that you can place your hands either side of the front leg, bending into the front foot as you rebend into your low lunge. Taking the sole of your left foot parallel to the top of the mat as you begin to extend the right leg along the earth, coming into your Skandasana on the right side. One side will feel completely alienated to the opposite. If you're really struggling with balance, keep your hands to the ground. And if it's because your heel is lifted, you can place a cushion underneath it. Feeling the vibrations, feeling and observing the energy that you've created within. Exhale, lowering the hips down towards the ground. Sole of that left foot is onto the inner right thigh. Again, try and make sure that that right leg is out to the side, not out in front of you. The right hand comes to the right foot as your left hand comes up and over for your side bend. If you can catch a hold of the foot, but you notice that you're collapsing inwards, and you can't really hear or breathe, then keep the hand in mid-air. You know, when the Buddha attained his enlightenment, he wasn't standing on his head or doing anything crazy. So just take it back to basics. Inhale, peeling yourself up. Cartwheeling your hands to the top of the mat as you step that left foot in between the hands, raising the right leg to the sky. And it can be a little bit of a shock to come straight into a balance, into a standing balance, when we've been quite low for the majority of the practice. So just analyze how heavy the body may be feeling as gravity is pushing you down towards the earth. Just be thankful for your Mooladhara Chakra, your root. Governs how grounded that we feel in our lives, which may be quite challenging for quite a lot of us during these times. Just feel that connection into the mat, into the ground. As you exhale, tap your right knee all the way across to the left ankle. So you're going nice and low. Inhale, you raise. You want to bend both knees as much as you can. Exhale, you tap. Inhale to lift, so we're really targeting the glutes. Exhale, you're tapping. Last two, inhale. Exhale. Tap. Last one, inhale to raise. And exhale. Tapping it down. Inhale to re-lift. Step that right leg all the way back. Pivoting so the back foot is parallel to the back of the ground, back of the mat rather, as you cartwheel your hands up into your warrior two. Again, make sure your alignment is working for you and ensure that your backhand isn't dipping, it's lifted nice and strong. Energy is drawing through the fingertips, sinking nice and deep into that left knee, ensuring that the knee isn't overshooting the ankle. Excuse me. As you inhale, straighten the legs, bring the palms to touch. Exhale as you bend. Inhale, you straighten. Exhale, rebend. Bandas are lifted, inhale to straighten, palms touch. Exhale, Virabhadrasana B. As you inhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat as you make your way through your vinyasa. Inhale, opening through the heart. Exhale, riding the breath back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step, jump or hop through, and sit down. Just extend the legs out for a brief Uttanasana. I hope you're all okay. I'm feeling a lot more fluid now, so I hope you do as well. Again, same principle with any forward fold. You can bend the knees, hold on to the shins, but make sure that the toes are flexed. Inhale, taking the arms up towards the sky. Exhale and really use that exhale to melt down. Inhale to re-lengthen through the vertebrae. Exhale, bend the elbows east to west as you fold down. Belly to thigh, lengthening through the whole of the spine as opposed to knee to nose, taking the gaze forwards, Padadrishti. Inhale, lifting the head and the chest. And exhale, plant the feet down onto the mat as you lay all the way back onto the ground. Preparing for our back bends. So back bends, if you're feeling up for it and you want to go into your full wheel, then feel free. Otherwise, we're taking 3 rounds. You can mix and match, you can stick with one variation or take whichever one it is that you wish. Wherever you are, make sure that you're tickling the heels with the fingertips. Inhale, lift low back, mid back, maybe upper back, maybe interlacing the fingers, maybe you're coming all the way up. Squeezing the inner thighs. I'm going to stay in my bridges, pressing down through the feet to lift up through the chest, keeping the chin away from the chest. Exhale, lowers yourself down. And just begin to windscreen wipe the legs or take the soles of the feet together and drop the knees apart. Your Baddha-Konasana, whichever one works for you, whichever one feels good. Second one, make sure you can tickle the heels. Inhale, lift low back, mid back, maybe upper back, maybe onto the crown of the head as you push the floor away. Really, really imagine that you're holding an imaginary block in between the thighs, so you want to squeeze them all in. Lifting up through your pelvic floor, scooping your navel up and back. Exhale, lowers yourself down. Take your counter pose. Avoid hugging the knees into the chest until you've taken all 3 rounds of back bends. Last one. Find that last bit of tapas, that last bit of energy, and begin to make your way into your variation. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lowers yourself down. Draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a big hug as you rock yourself from side to side. And then dropping the knees over to the left as you take the gaze over the right shoulder. Nice supine twist, just to allow the back to return to neutral after back bending. Slowing down the breath. Inhale through to center. Knees drop over towards the right as you take the gaze over the left shoulder this time. Inhale back through to the midline. And we're just going to stay in our shoulder stand. So if you don't want to be in shoulder stand, then you can stay with Ritta Pikarani. And the great thing about practicing at home is you have walls. So if you prefer to just keep your legs extended up to the walls, that's fine too. Shoulder stand, especially for me anyway, it's quite intense first thing in the morning. So if you do want to go up, then please do. Otherwise, take whatever variation you wish. Taking your feet up and overhead. Hands come onto your rib cage as you lift the legs into the air. And please do not move your head and neck from side to side. 10 breaths wherever you're going. Squeezing the thighs, pointing the toes, squeezing the glutes. Keep moving the hands further down the back. Breathe. Salamba, Savingasana, your shoulder standing. When you've taken your 10 breaths, release the feet overhead into Halasana as you extend the hands along the mat, and then very slowly begin to peel yourself one vertebrae at a time, all the way down onto the mat. Your hands will land underneath the glutes. You want to extend the legs, pointing the toes, and drop down to the forearms as your elbows are bent. Open through the whole of the back, so you're arching the back, and reach the crown of the head down towards the earth behind you as you arrive into your Matsyasana, your fish pose. Inhale, chin to chest. You made it. I invite you to add any layers if you know that you're going to get cold. Add any final movements that are serving you. Otherwise, just allow the feet to flop to the top corners of the mats. Allow the palms to face up as they receive. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Quiet mind, quiet body. Shavasana. to deepen the breath. And re-inviting life force back into the body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Giving yourself a long overhead good morning stretch. As you draw the knees tightly into the body, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. Gently rolling over to the right side of the body. As you pause for a moment of gratitude for dedicating the last 60 minutes to your mind, your body and your soul. Gratitude for your teachers and their teachers' teachers. Om Namah Shivaya. And gratitude that the practice is healing for our bodies and minds. Slowly pressing yourself all the way back up to a seated position at the top of the mat. Extending the arms out to the sides, drawing the palms up and overhead, drawing the hands down in towards heart center in Anjali Mudra. The practice of Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion, has brought us all here together virtually, so we'll end in union with a single mantra Om. Inhale the breath, cleanse inside, release it and let it go. Taking your prayer towards the space between the eyebrows. Inhale the breath. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Lokaha, Samastaha, Sukhinovu, Bhavantu. Jai, bowing down. Namaste. Namaste everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a beautiful day. If you've got any questions, then hit me up. I'm on Instagram, Chrissy_yoga. I'll be teaching for more yoga on Friday at 10:30 Ashtanga and Saturday Vinyasa at 1:15. So if you like my style or if you want to know more, then come and tune in. Otherwise, make sure that you rest well. Take your rest as seriously as you take your practice. Have the best breakfast. Have the best day. Sending so much love to each and every one of you and for making this possible in such a crazy world at the minute. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So much gratitude. Big love to you all. Take care and have a beautiful day. I think I've said that like 3 times now, so yeah. Take care, guys.